Students of class 6, welcome back to your social science class. In the previous class, I've explained chapter 1, that is Harappan civilization. Now today I'm going to do the second part of this lesson. In the previous class, I've explained to you about what is a civilization, how the first civilization developed, about Indus Valley civilization, also about Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Now, let me also give you a quick revision of what I have explained in the previous class. So, in a civilization, there were society, towns and cities, economy, surplus food, language, trade, art and craft, technology, religion, law and order. So here with these pictures, I'm sure you will be able to relate to what I've explained in the previous class. I've explained how from a small society it became towns and cities. Then I explained to you about the economy, how they were trade, how the languages were spoken among the people, how technology has given rise to new places and tools. Also, there were religion, where some were nature worshippers, where some worshipped Pashupati, who was a male god. Then about law and order in a society. Now, here, what you see in the picture here are the archaeological evidences which are being searched by the archaeologists. Now, these archaeologists are a group of people. They used to go to certain areas and they try to find the old things, I would say the ancient things, okay? Now, when they find it, it becomes a very important source of education for us. Now, in the previous class, I've also explained to you about Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, where it was considered the oldest civilizations, also the most important cities of the Indus Valley civilization. Now, how we came to know about their story is because of these people, all right? They have worked so hard, they have collected all the evidences, and through these evidences, we were able to find about their story, about their culture. See, I told you about these things, right? The society, towns, all these things we were able to study because of this archaeologist. So here they work like this. They dig the mud. If they find some important things, they would clean it up. Then it is taken to the laboratory and they used to study with the help of different people. All right. Now, when I say evidences, evidences are those things which were found by the archaeologists, and it has helped us to study about the Indus Valley civilization. So, we have seals, jewelry, toys, pottery, architectural remains. Okay. Now, what you see here is a seal. Okay. So, these seals were used to study about the culture of these people. Now here they are also prints of some certain letters which were their letters, okay, which also tells us some stories. Then you see here the pot, right? These pots are designed. So these pots also shows us how they were interested in art and culture. Then you see here some jewelries, right? So these jewelries were made of gold and silver. And with that, we come to know that the people of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they were very interested in different jewelries, okay? They love to make themselves attractive with these jewelries. So what you see here are the bangles, necklaces, there were rings, and there were different necklaces for men and women, okay? Then this is one such example of the ancient technologies, all right? So they were buildings which were made by the ancient people, and in these buildings they have also made paintings and drawings of their gods and goddesses. Also they have put some designs which were very famous during their times. Then what you see here are the mud toys. Okay, so with these toys we also come to know that they were large society and the children they used to play together, right? So these are the evidences. Okay, so we have seals, we have jewelries, we have the pots, different architectures, and the toys. Okay, now the special features of the cities. Okay, so talking about this Harappan and the Mohenjo-daro. All right, these are the two famous cities of the Indus Valley civilization. Now, let me also remind you that right now we are going to specially talk about the Indus Valley civilization, okay? Because this chapter is about the Harappan civilization, right? Now, why it is known as the Indus Valley civilization is because this civilization was discovered near the river Indus. That is why it was named as the Indus Valley civilization. And in this civilization, there were two very important cities. One was Harappa and the other one was Mohenjo-daro. Now, in these places, there were certain things that were found, okay? And with the help of these things, we are able to study about the life, the culture, also about the beliefs, about who they worship, right? We were able to study about all these things. Now, the first one is town planning. Town planning means how the towns were made. Now, this is just a picture, okay? This is just an art by someone whom they believe that the town was similar to this during their times. So what you see here are people are busy, some are sailing on the boat, some are doing some other works. So it is said that the people during this civilization they used to transport with the help of ships and boats. Okay, so through this transportation they also came in contact with Afghanistan and the people of Mesopotamia. All right, now these cities people started doing different businesses in the form of trade. So they started selling and buying. Also, the town was made in such a way that there were houses there. Also, there were community places where more people can gather, right? See here, some of the houses are quite small and some of them are big. So, bigger houses, I'm sure it is a place where more people gathered, right? And then some of them were traveling by boat for different purposes, maybe for visiting other areas, or maybe for trade or for any business purposes. In the second picture, it shows the economic life and the social life of the people. Now let me start with the economic life. In the previous class, I've also explained to you about the economic life, okay? So earlier, people, they do not know how to do business. So they would just find food for themselves, and then when it is over, they would again go out from their homes in search of food, shelter, water. Now these people, I told you that the Indus Valley civilization was located near the river valley, so people also learned how to grow crops. So when they learned how to grow crops, there was also extra food. Now with that, they started exchanging with the neighboring places, okay? So like for example, some people wanted pots and the other person wanted some fruits or vegetables, right? So they started exchanging and then it gave birth to economy. So more and more people started involving in business. So it's not only about exchanging things, but also selling things like art, and also there were jewelries, so which was mostly found in the market area. So here are the pictures of people doing trade and business among themselves, right? So these are some few examples of the growth of economic life. Now coming to social life. So involving people started engaging in different businesses, okay? And when people started doing all these things, it shows that there were more people in the society, right? So earlier there were just one or two family, so it was very less, but there were towns, then there were villages, and also they formed different communities among themselves. So people also started celebrating, right? And they also started keeping certain sacred days, okay? So during their times there were also religious festivals, and some of the people, whoever had more knowledge, they also taught to their students. So the students would go to their teachers and learn from them subjects like science, medicine, mathematics. And there were also people who used to provide medicines, okay, especially for the ones who are sick. So this is how the social life began, and then people started depending on one another. So when there was social life, also there was economy amongst the people, okay? So in these images you can see that some of the men are talking to another person, right? And there is a boat there. So what do you see when you see a boat? Obviously, there were people who were traveling by these boats and ships. So it shows that they were not only connected with the people in their society, but they were also going out from their area and they were connecting with other people. So the main reason for visiting other places is either to sell or to buy things, or also to visit people, and this is how their knowledge also grew more and more, okay? So here these are the pictures that can relate to the economic and the social life of the people of Indus Valley civilization. Now arts and script. What you see behind me are the seals, okay? So these are seals and they were inscripted on stones and terracottas, okay? Now there were also pots that was designed, and through these pots and through this art we can also get some few stories about these people, how they were hunting, about their letters. Till now we are not able to understand exactly what they have written in these seals because there are no people who can study them, but through the figures of animals, the fish, the birds, also the figures of human beings which were inscripted on the seals and pots, we can find out that they find out about their social life, their economic life, also how they were living, right? About their culture. Different things can be studied through their scripts. Now, what you see behind me is a woman, right? So it is their goddess, okay? So they worship this goddess. Also, when we look at this statue, we find that these people also learned how to make statues, right? So their mind became more creative, all right? So these people of Indus Valley, they were very advanced as compared to any other civilization. So people get amazed, okay? Even when we look at their houses are made of burnt bricks, okay? So earlier, just imagine, human beings were living under the caves, right? And then they were no houses. Later, they learned how to make houses with wood, with leaves. And then, when we look at the civilization of Indus people, we see that their houses were made of bricks and the bricks were also burnt bricks. So, with that, we come to know that the people of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were very advanced, they were very civilized, and we also believe that most of the ideas came from these people, okay? Now religion. So from here, from the first image, we get the idea that it was their god Pasupati. Okay, here this man, he have horns, and then there are three faces which we can't see clearly here, but he have three faces and some animals have surrounded him, and it was their god. Okay, also they worshipped one woman goddess, and there were also some other art from where we come to know that they were also worshipped on gods, and they started making the statues of these gods and worshipping them. Then some of them also worshiped nature, and one of their most sacred tree was a people tree. Okay, so this people tree is considered very special for them. So whenever they are going to worship or whenever they are going to do some pujas, they used to go to this people tree and do that, and they make sure that they take care of this tree. So it was a very special tree for them. So by seeing all this, we come to know that the people of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they also believed in gods, and they worshiped these gods for prosperity, for success, and also to lead a better life. Sometimes for good crops, they also pray to God. If they want children or if they want to have a good family, then they used to pray to these gods. Next is farming. So in the first picture, you see that the early people, they are going for hunting, right? And they are looking out for animals, they are looking out for food. Now in the second picture, you see that there are a group of people who are working together in a field, right? So what are the changes that you see? It is the civilization, okay? It is the evolution where people's life has changed even in the terms of farming. So earlier people, they depend on the roots, on the fruits, on vegetables, whatever they get in the jungles, they have it, and then when it is over, they go and look out for another area to find this food. But since they were living near the water area, they also learned that the same plant, the same vegetables grows again and again, right? So with that, the people learn that they can also learn how to grow crops. And then with that, there were people who started settling in one place. They stopped moving out from place to place, and they also started growing crops which helped them to stay in one area. So that was the farming. Now here in this picture, you see that there were foreign trades with Mesopotamia, that is Iraq, and Afghanistan. Also, there were overseas trade with Lothal, which is in Gujarat, and they also started importing famous blue gemstone and lapis lazuli. Okay, here what you see are the pictures that were used for transportation. So with that, we get the idea that the people of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they used animals for transportation, right? Also, there are wheels attached to this cart that were used for pulling by human beings, or they are tied with the animals and that were used for transportation. So with that, they were also able to do trade. They were also able to take the things from one place to another, okay? Or else earlier times, people traveled for days and months just to go from one place to another, right? But with the coming of the wheel, with the invention of wheel, transportation was very easy for them, and also trade became famous. Okay, so now they not only do business in their own area, but they also connect with the people of other areas. So later on, the Harappan culture came to an end. Right now, we don't know the exact reason why the Harappan culture came to an end, that is, why it got over. So right now, whatever reasons that we can say are this, okay? So number one, the reason is not clear. There are many stories. Number two, it is believed that the Harappan culture came to an end because of the natural calamities. Maybe there was earthquake, maybe there was fire, maybe there was flood, okay? So because of this reason, maybe the entire area came underwater, or maybe because of the earthquake, all the people died and the people no more existed. Their house were broken and everything was damaged. That is the story that we feel about these people. Okay, now next is invasion of Aryans. There were few remains of the people that was found. So with that remained, we believe that the Aryans were the ones who attacked the people of this Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, and that is why the people were killed. And so now there are no more people from this civilization. Also, it is believed that the foreigners had come and they have captured the entire areas of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, and that is why the culture came to an end. So there are many reasons, okay? However, when we refer to the first one, we believe that none of these reasons are clear. Until now, we haven't found anything that could give us the exact story of this culture, why it was over. Well, students, let's do a revision from page number 12. That is exercise B and C, because in the previous class I've given you exercise A. Now with the help of C and B, you would be able to revise whatever we have learned so far. Okay, so these exercises I'm going to leave to you. You do it by yourself and you try to learn whatever we have covered in chapter 1, that is Harappan culture. Thank you very much. We'll see you again soon.